last and least as far as I'm concerned. No offense, just the others are quite important to me, Anora. But hello, I probably didn't need to lead with that.
Hello again, Warden.
Hi.
It is good that you came to speak with me. I realise that my actions at Howe's estate may not have painted me in the best light. For that, I apologise and hope that we can start again. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Howe did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
Well, at least you're direct about it. It's nice for directness in politics. Okay. You think you're a better candidate than Alistair?
Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness.
Being a good ruler does require more than ambition.
Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn.
I really wish I could speak to Alistair about this. So how do you know so much about him?
Cailan knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built.
Okay. You don't seem to like him that much.
My feelings towards Alistair have nothing to do with it. I barely know him. I simply believe that I am what this country needs. I will fight for what I believe. Would Alistair do the same? Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it.
Okay. Why should I support you exactly?
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Cailan's queen. As much as they loved Cailan, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Cailan was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
Okay. Are you proposing an alliance?
That is exactly what I am proposing.
Several times.
When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
What happens to Logain if you're queen?
He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it.
If there is a way, I wouldn't necessarily oppose it. I'm not big on executions in general, despite the amount of people that I've killed. Yeah.
I am glad to hear it. In the end, it will be up to the Landsmeet to decide, I think. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement?
Why not simply marry Alistair, the best of both worlds? I truly believe that that's the best option.
Ignoring that the man looks so much like Cailan, my recently dead husband, if you'll recall, my main fear is that he might govern like Cailan as well. But it is true that Alistair has Therin blood. To some, this is more important even than practical considerations. A union might be considered a compromise, but is this something Alistair even desires?
I think I could convince him.
Let me say this. If Alistair is willing to stand back and allow me to continue governing the nation, then I would be willing to have him as my king. It is my understanding that governing does not appeal to him anyhow. If that is so, this is a compromise I can live with.
Okay. I'll speak to him then.
Do so. I will be interested to hear what he has to say.
As will I. It's not often I play politics. And it's making my head hurt a little bit, but... Alistair, we gotta talk, bro.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it.
Yeah, and if this doesn't work, Alistair, honestly, I'm really tempted to let her have it. She's I don't know where her heart lies. She makes sense. And there's something to be said for practical considerations over blood ones. I think you'd be a great king, for the record.
Really? Whatever will give you that idea?
Look, you'd look snappy with a crown. You have a kind heart and a very strong sense of justice, which I think would just be matched by her, practical considerations.
Well, it's nice that you think so. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen?
I think you should marry Honora.
Marry her? As in marriage, as in be her husband? You've spoken to her about this? You did, didn't you? Why would you do that? Did you take a blow to the head? That's crazy.
Let me see. Cunning. I think I could win off cunning. I could win off persuade. You'll do it because I tell you. No. That's the best way to appeal to you. Best compromise for peace. True. She can rule while you lead. It's perfect. It's true. Smart move, and I think you know that. She can rule while you lead. It really does seem perfect.
I suppose. I don't know how much of a leader I am, but at least I know she's a good ruler. Go ahead, then. Tell her I'll do it if it comes to that. Now, excuse me while I go have a small heart attack somewhere. No big deal, right?
Cool. Awesome. I feel kind of sad, though. Alistair being king, I'm not sure Alistair could be a Grey Warden anymore. I mean, I can do this on my own, but it's kind of like I don't really want to do this on my own. I've had Alistair alongside for, the beginning, more or less. I don't know. It would just be sad if we both had to go our separate directions in this conflict. Can I speak to you again?
I haven't been here in a...
Yeah, I know.
Ask away.
I know they changed the dining room, Alistair.
Of course.
No, I didn't think so. Whatever. Honora. Wrong room. Hola, Honora.
Well, have you spoken to my lucky betrothed yet? Or will we be reduced to passing notes?
He's agreed to your terms.
He has? I wasn't expecting that, to tell you the truth. To marry Kaelin's brother. Well, I suppose stranger things have happened. If it will truly help matters... Is this it, then? I agree to marry Alistair to retain my throne, and in exchange I give you my support. If not, then tell me now.
Yeah, it's the way it's gonna go. I'm not entirely happy about this, but I don't think it was a good situation anyway. Marry Alistair, and you have my support.
Done.
Fuck.
So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
No, I don't think so. I may have a couple questions, but do you need anything?
No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still, thank you.
Oh, what was that last line? Hang on.
I have spoken with Alistair. Perhaps this mad betrothal won't be quite the curse it first seemed.
I think the conversation may have glitched out there. Hang on, guys. Back in a moment. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna play with the save files here. I'll do some cutting. Back with you in a bit.
That, I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah. I don't know what happened with the Junior Day thing. I think that may have been... I don't know. It's weird, that ended the conversation, and I kind of want to ask some questions.
Ask me whatever you like.
Okay. Yeah, these are what I want to ask. First of all, I'd like to understand Loghain better, if possible.
Well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden. But he is far from common.
I know. I don't know what happened to him, honestly. It doesn't seem like a straight... Howl was, straight lawful evil, if you will indulge my, my D&D reference. I have no idea what Loghain is. I don't think he's going to be as straight bwahaha evil as it seems, unless he's gone mad, which he may well have done, but I don't know. Out of character, the look on his face when he ordered the troops to retreat to Ostagar, that slight smile, I don't know, I just don't know. I mean, I suspect still that something else might be going on, but I don't know what it is. And why doesn't he back down?
Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think.
Something I truly believe as well. Is he truly beyond reason?
I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes.
Okay. Why would he have ever trusted Arl Howe? Like, they don't seem, apart from the fact that they're both enemies and they're both part of the bad guy pantheon, they don't seem similar at all.
Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what Howe was, and while I despised the man, I knew that father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stem from Howe and not my father at all. We may never know.
Yeah. Did he plan on overthrowing Killen before Ostagar? I'm guessing you wouldn't know.
I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Caleb was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Caleb was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine.
The fact that he retreated his forces because he didn't think that he possibly could have won. I don't know.
Ask me whatever you like.
It's a possibility. Does it make you uncomfortable siding against your father? What a silly question.
Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband?
Did you love Keelan?
It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked to remain the silent wife in my husband's shadow.
He was kind as well. He was a good man, and maybe not as best suited to be king, to lead an army. I mean, he played with people's lives for the sake of legend. I don't know. I don't know Killen as well as you, but he seemed different for a king. we gave him a proper burial. You know, we went back to Ostagar after the battle. You know, saved his body from the fields, well, from the desecration that it was, and gave him a proper cremation. For the record, that happened. I'm not saying that you should, you know, pay me for it or anything like that, but you know, might be nice. Why did Logain leave Kaelin to die? Did you know?
Kaelin was so idealistic. The world was his storybook, and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Kaelin would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Kaelin dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream he wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down.
Nor should he. That is my main tripping point with Logain, this thing he has against Orlesians. War was a long time ago. Well, it wasn't really that long. It was like a couple generations ago, yes, and so obviously very fresh in Logain's mind, but stuff is different now. And it just seems like prejudice that he sticks to this hatred, and that Ferelden should defend itself. I'm sorry for your loss.
It was more than just my own loss. But I thank you all the same.
Mm-hmm. Should we tell people what really happened to Kaelin?
They would not believe it, most of them, even from my lips. Logain is a hero they've looked up to their whole lives. Far easier to believe you or me a liar than him a murderer and tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it will be critical to find some way to discredit him before the lands meet. We must have proof of my father's crimes for the bands, or they will never believe us.
Okay. Wonder how we can get that.
Ask me whatever you like.
What do you think will happen after the lands meet?
Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Gwarren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already.
Yes, I did. Okay. Anor, thank you. I quite like you, actually. I think you'll be okay. I'm quite glad Alistair is there, because at least I can vouch for his kindness and his, you know, his decent heart. Whereas I can't vouch for yours, aside from, you know, you don't seem overtly like a bad person, but you also haven't done too much to suggest that you're anything except, you know, extremely pragmatic. Happy to endorse you as long as you're marrying Alistair, though.
Then I wish you luck, Warden.
I do feel bad, though. I'm playing with marriage. You know, playing with Alistair's and Anora's life, and Anora, who's just lost, you know, a husband that she actually did love, and Alistair, who is not really wanting to be king. I mean, at least this way he doesn't have to rule, and I don't know, I wish I'd be interested to see them interact, Anora and Alistair, because, well, at least they're both entering into it knowing what it is. Marriage of convenience, I suppose. Is that the right word? It's a political marriage. Hey, Erlina.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
I hope so. Grand. Actually, you were saying something after, and I missed that because I was too focused on reloading the game.
I have spoken with Alistair. Perhaps this mad betrothal won't be quite the curse it first seemed.
Oh, good. I wonder. That's quite impressive. You managed to speak to Alistair. I didn't even hear you yell. Good, but, well, they don't hate each other, so that's a good thing. Alistair, do you have anything else to say?
I haven't been here in...
Yeah, I know the change the dining room did.
Of course.
No, it's fine. Whatever. Arleman, developments.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time.
I think I've persuaded Alistair and Anora to marry.
My hearing must be going. I could swear you just said that Alistair and Anora agreed to marry.
Yeah. He did want me to get Anora on our side, didn't you?
Of course, but I hardly imagined that you could convince her so readily. I am impressed. This alliance can only help us. Well done, my friend.
Thank you.
We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
Everybody's happy, except potentially Alistair and Nora. And, you know, being a marriage of convenience, there may be, you know, if Alistair chooses to pursue somebody that he, you know, he loves, or he doesn't fall in love with Nora, then maybe they will both give each other the space to pursue other romantic interests. I mean, I'm sure kings and queens have done so before in the past. Cool. Actually, I'm starting to feel quite good about this. Now, this took a long time of me talking back and forth, and honestly, I've really enjoyed it. It's been great, like, speaking with this woman is glitched the fuck out. It's taken a long time, like, going back and forth and talking with different people. So a couple things have happened, like, you know, breaking Zevran's hearts. And so on and so forth. And, you know, speaking with Nora and speaking with Alistair and getting things politically sorted, and at least kind of we know what we're doing to push forward to the throne, like what card we're playing. It says, what's your long-term plan for the country? It's like, oh, get these guys to marry each other. And that'll work really well, I think. Hey.
This is a nice... Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
Of course I am, but we should move on. I don't know why I thought she'd have something new to say, but I don't know, I was hoping. So yeah, it took a long time, and as a result of that, I actually think I'm just going to end the session here, honestly. It's been a good session full of conversation, for the most part. Breaking out to Fort Drakon did not take nearly as long as I thought it would. So I'll wrap up here, in my room with Morgan, Sten, and is Glenald there? Oh yeah, he's just blending in with the rug. Yeah. So in the next session, we're going to go to the Alienage and try to work out, you know, what's been going on over there. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, everybody. And I will see you in the next episode.